Hey houseplant friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have an actual highly requested video, which I feel like doesn't happen often. When you post every day, people don't really feel like they need to request you things because you've already kind of got a lot going on. But I have a video request that has been hitting my comment section over and over and over since a month ago. Ashley, how is your Obliqua doing? Can we get an Obliqua update? I'll subscribe if you give an update on your Obliqua. So I'm gonna just give you what you guys want. Tell you how the heck my Obliqua is doing. And I think you'll be shocked to know we have had a tragedy. Or maybe you won't be shocked to know. Who knows? Before we get into all the drama, all the tea sipping, please make sure you hit like and subscribe. Maybe you've been binge watching my videos and you just forgot to hit that subscribe button. Welcome to the community. I also have YouTube memberships, which you can check out at the link in the description. So yes, you did hear me right. We have had a tragedy, which is so sad because this is the most expensive plant I ever bought. I paid $593 for this plant. It's $523 before shipping. For this plant is an incredible deal. I still have yet to see it offered anywhere for a lower price. I'll see it offered for like $600, but I've never seen any other seller dip into the 500s. There has been a crime. There has been a crime. This man has committed a crime. So he's the man. We're not gonna talk about the man anymore. We're just gonna talk about the victim. This is our victim. And this happened the week I got it. Literally, I unboxed it and a week later it had been eaten alive, which is terrible. That happened and that was really embarrassing because I went and spent a bunch of money on my plant and then he went and got hurt. Excuse me, coming through. Pardon me, coming through. The man! And would you look at that, we have a new leaf. You guys, it was so hard not to show you this leaf before that greenhouse thing. He's been working on it for a little while. After 2 weeks of having this plant and putting him in the greenhouse, he started giving me a new leaf. I was hoping I'd be able to finish my greenhouse video before this guy finished unfurling, but I did not. So here is our new leaf. You will notice he's a little sunburnt, just like everything else in my tank, or not my tank, in my black refrigerator in my greenhouse. He got a little sunburnt while he was unfurling, and you can see once I had fixed it, this whole section right here doesn't have any burn on it, but this whole first part that unfurled does. He is looking like a very strong guy. I'm so impressed. So the reason that he's so expensive is because normally you can buy like a node, which is just this part without any of this growth. Just that node you can buy anywhere from $300 to $500. I was able to buy an entire plant with a root system and a leaf for literally $500, and that's why I bought it, because I knew it would be a good investment. And it has an extra node here I could cut once this guy roots in a little bit more and gets more viable. I could cut right here and we could get a new growth out of this one as well in the same pot, which I do intend to do probably in a couple more months when I can see more roots than just that in the bottom. The conditions in which I keep him are pretty normal, I feel like. This plant, I don't want to like make it seem ridiculously easy, but I have had an easy time with it. But I've also had it in a very warm place. The grow tent is probably 20 degrees warmer in there than it is in here. It's probably about 80 or 90 degrees in there sometimes. Plus, it's very humid. I run the humidifier about every 3 days for about 5 minutes. Sometimes I forget and it runs for 20 or 30 minutes, but I run it just a little bit. I've also only watered all the plants in there twice in the last month and 2 weeks that I've had it. I keep him in a half soil, half moss mix. The reason I'm doing that is because this plant does like a little bit more moisture than usual, and because I'm someone who doesn't like to water my plants too frequently, I want to make sure he can still get enough water. I have exceptionally chunky orchid bark at the top here mixed with potting soil and cactus mix, and in the bottom I have the moss that it was shipped to me in. I'm also keeping it in a recycled water bottle pot, which so many people were like, buy super expensive plant, puts it in super ridiculously garbage pot. But like, you guys, Plants don't care, and neither should you. It's recyclable. We're recycling things instead of just throwing them into a landfill, and I think that that's kind of important. I think it's cool to recycle. But yeah, so that's how I take care of him, and right now, again, the light in my grow house, the light in my grow tent is 20 watts. I haven't touched it other than that, and he's just doing really well, just like all of the plants in there. This is literally probably the best thing I've ever gotten for my plants. So yeah, that's my little Obliqua update, and it is cute because he does have little holes from the Sluggo. He's doing pretty good. I don't see a new leaf happening yet, so we are patiently waiting for whatever that may look like in the future. But yeah, this is my Obliqua. I just put it in there and I water it when the moss down here is dry. The top will always be a little bit moist because of where it's being kept. Pretty much only water it when the moss down here is pretty darn dry. And other than that, I don't touch it. I just leave it alone. I am gonna give it a little Captain Jack's treatment twice in there. I've sprayed everything down with Garden Safe Pest Protection, which is a fatty oil mix made to kill bugs on contact. I've also sprayed a ton of neem oil in there, and whenever I do that, I turn on my fan immediately so it dries, so it won't like leave moisture on the leaves and then magnify things. I'd say he's doing pretty good. Did I think, let's talk about some retrospective things. Did I think that it would grow this fast for me? No. The way that everyone makes this plant sound, they make it sound terrifying, and I don't want to make it not seem hard, but I haven't had a hard time with it. Also, let's just talk about the Peruvian Obliqua. So this is in a Monstera Obliqua Peruvian form. There are many types of Obliqua. I don't remember the names of the other ones, but I'll pop up some things on the screen. And there is kind of this ideology that this plant is just ridiculously rare. Like, if you have an Obliqua, surprise, you don't, because you don't, no one has Obliqua, and that's not true. I would say probably thousands of collectors, maybe tens of thousands of collectors have the Peruvian form of the Obliqua since it's become so much more readily available. A lot of the times I see my friends post about their Obliquas that they just get, and in the comments it's like, that's not Obliqua, you don't have Obliqua, Obliqua is too rare, like there's no way that you have an Obliqua. Surprise, they do have an Obliqua. Something I wanted to clarify, someone in my comment section last time was asking me how to know if their Adansonii was actually an Obliqua. And the answer to that is your Adansonii will never be an Obliqua. If you buy an Adansonii, you are never going to accidentally buy an Obliqua. If you have an Adansonii and you're like, oh my gosh, my plant looks a lot like her plant, here are some things that you should know is that Obliqua in its immature form, which is what I have right now, will look like this. It will be very crinkly around the edges, super duper crinkly, and it will kind of look like, almost like a Monstera siltibacana, but without the silver. It has extremely narrow vines. Vines on this plant are quite small. Again, very small plant. Here's my finger for scale, and I have very small hands. Obliqua is not judged based on whether or not it has a lot of holes in it. It is a completely different plant than the Adansonii. It fruits different, it flowers different, it is a different species than the Adansonii, and you will not buy an Adansonii and have it be an Obliqua. However, you might buy an Obliqua online and get scammed and have it turn out to be an Adansonii. So it can be one way, but it for sure won't be the other, if that makes any sense. That is the update, and if you have any more questions about this whole Monstera Adansonii or Obliqua thing, you can ask me questions in the comment section. If you're someone out there who feels pressured to buy certain plants just because they're cool, don't worry about it. Like, just collect the plants that you want to collect. And if you watch my channel and you don't have any rare plants at all, you are still just as much of a plant collector as anyone else. You don't need a certain amount of plants, you don't need a certain type of plant, you don't need to have spent a certain amount of money on plants to be a plant collector. If you just have 3 plants and you like plants and you're in the community, hey, you're a plant parent. Hey, you don't need to feel pressured to do anything. I, however, just really like to spend my money on plants. So anyways, thank you so much for watching my little update on the Monstera Obliqua. I think that this is the first time I've had a super highly requested plant video. So thanks. If you have any more requests, spam them at me. Really, I do see them. There's not that many people leaving me comments yet, so I still can see things. If you have another video you want me to make, I know orchids. People have also been asking me to do an orchid video. I will make that this week. I promise. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and tweet me at PlantMeAshley. Follow me on Instagram at PlantMeAshley and also on Twitter at PlantMeAshley. Please become a channel member. It is so much fun to see the channel grow. And if you currently having a hard time figuring out how to join the Discord, I do leave instructions in the description down below. And yeah, I'll see you in the next houseplant section. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for the extra channel support to the planted cauliflower, all the green places, and botanicas.